Hello, welcome to Veldboom Studios. My name is Shaquille Veldboom, and this is going to be another episode of my game development. So, basically, I have been starting on the landscape and how everything is going to look with the environment and things like that. So, I was actually going to do like a little bit of a speed art video, but with me having like a new computer, I'm trying to figure out still how certain things are set up, and I kind of misplaced some footage and lost it. It's a long story. But what I'm trying to get into right now is basically how I've come up with and created this landscape, and also kind of you can see that it has like a road in it and all sorts of things. So the first thing that I kind of did was when you select the landscape, you can enable edit layers. So that is kind of the first thing you have to do. So then you have multiple layers that can be set within that landscape that can, add different variations to it. So the first thing that I did was I added this spline. So what a spline basically is, it's a line that has different curvature points in it, and all of these different individual like segment points can be you can add like a mesh to it. So that is what I did right here, and that mesh is basically a road, but it's like a small section for it, and then it gets multiplied along the whole line and the whole curvature that you can see here. So what I can do in this modifier is I can basically drag and drop these different spline points up and down wherever I please, and the line and the in the tarmac and everything will follow it, but also the landscape will kind of use the same guide patterns to follow. I can edit the amount of side on the side fall off that you would have. So if I would want it to be a little bit more like gracious, the way it would kind of come out, and then not as a steep of an angle on the sides, and I can modify that. And I can do that for the entire track, or I can do it for individual spline points. That is also the same with the width of the track, so you can edit those and kind of make it to your liking. So that is something that makes it very easy to just customize and make your own unique environment that is fitting for the story that you're trying to tell. So that is the first layer of the layer height maps, and with the splines and everything. And then the second one is the custom brush blueprint function that you could also put into the Unreal Engine. I'm not really too good with like these detailed tutorials on Unreal because I don't really know yet how it works, and I'm looking at tutorials myself, so I don't really have like an overall description of how everything is going to be done. That is not really what I'm trying to achieve here. Is more like my personal development, so I'm just trying to share all of that with you. And if you can pick up some information that is useful, then that is the best way to kind of do it. I also have a study material playlist on my YouTube channel that is basically a playlist of all of the tutorials that I watch to kind of come up with all of this stuff. So every tutorial that I watch, I kind of put into that playlist. So, and it's public too, so if you're wondering what I'm looking at and how I'm learning all of this stuff, then you can find it in there on this YouTube channel playlist study material. So that is the first thing. So the second thing was the blueprints and everything, so that I can create like different mountain ranges and change the landscape to my liking again, but then around the road, and just do it in general. So I can take these spline points and just drag them and drop them wherever I please, and the landscape will just kind of follow their guide patterns that I set for them. So and also you can then go back into the spline points themselves and also then change the layer. So if you want a steeper fall off angle to where the mountain is way higher, you can do that. And I think I want to put it somewhere here, and I'm gonna change the road to kind of fit with the different landscapes that I'm creating, but I kind of want it to be a little bit higher. And then you can even go further than if you want to the fall of width. I don't really know what that changes, to be honest with you. Let's see, because there were more parameters that you could change. Yeah, so the different amount of noise, if you want there to be like how rough you want it to be, you can change everything. So yeah, let's play around with these a little bit. But that is just how crazy you can get. So And also I still need to add different materials, because even with ridges like this, Unreal's smart enough to recognize that if a material has a certain slope on it, and then probably grass won't even be able to grow on it because it needs like a more flat landscape and everything. So then you will kind of get to see that at certain angles of a landscape you will start to see rocks, and you will start to see like earth, and then at more flat angles of a landscape you will see like grass growth and stuff like that. And then you can use that to also let trees grow in those places. So there's way more to do than the things that I've accomplished here to kind of make it even more realistic. So that is basically the first part, and that is everything that I've been working on when it comes to how to adapt a landscape and also to have a road within that. So, and now that you change the landscape, you can kind of go back to the spline points and see that this, for instance, would be way too high, and that you would kind of be able to make it fall in the landscape a little bit more, because there's no reason for that road to be elevated like that. So you can kind of change those points, and if you press R, it will kind of find the angle that suits the landscape best, and that way you can kind of smooth it out. And just like that, kind of follow everything. So that is basically how easy it is to generate a realistic landscape and to make it to your liking. So that is the first step in there. So the second thing that I wanted to showcase was just where I'm at with the car and where I'm at with different things for Unreal itself. So here, if I just press play, and I think the window's gonna pop open on the other screen. So you can kind of see that the ray tracing and the reflectiveness of the body from the person on the car and stuff like that is all kind of working in there, and the car itself is reflecting really nice, and you can see like the head beam shining and all that. So it's also in the rims, you have these flickering lights, because I want to program the lights for in the rims to work with the side indicator. So if you kind of turn left, that these lights on the left side for the car will kind of start blinking as your side indicators. Also, maybe I should skip that information a little bit for when I really talk you guys through the car itself, because I don't think I have done that yet. But yeah, that is basically what you can see, and this is now full real time. I don't have to do any rendering. I don't have to do like anything to kind of change it to make it look better. This is in real time, playable and everything. So I'm getting really excited with these results that this computer is getting me, because you know, this is just what I've been dreaming about doing all the time, and Unreal just gives me so many opportunities to do crazy stuff like this that it's just gonna get weird from now. So that is kind of the first thing. Second thing is that I've been using these Blender, sorry, my bad, not Blender, Quixel Bridge, to kind of use all of these 3D assets to kind of make it look real. Make the realism get there quicker, basically, because they have like a unlimited amount of 3D materials and things that you could use to kind of enhance your scene and do different stuff that you can just drag and drop in there. So that is an amazing tool to have. So that is basically where these concrete barriers and stuff came from. I don't know if I got the trees from there too. I think there was like a different thing in the Unreal Marketplace where I got them from. But yeah, so that is basically what I've been doing with the landscape and how I got there, and the different things that I want to be doing with the car. But that kind of brings me to the next point, and that next point is what is next, because with a game design, it's such a huge task that you kind of need a team of people to start doing this stuff, because you could have just one guy that is only fixing on the environment, and then one person that is only doing the car, and one person is only doing the characters, and I kind of have to do all of that by myself. So I do have a great workflow with different software systems that I can use, and that I can kind of do everything by myself. I don't really need a lot of help with this right now, but at the same time, it is time consuming and it is a large task, so I need to be smart with the way that I schedule my moments of designing in there, because I also still spend a lot of time working on assignments for other companies and other people that are doing stuff. So it is yeah, it's a time consuming hard task, but I'm gonna get there. So basically the next thing that I'm gonna be doing after the environment is done, so I'm gonna be putting in like trees and grass and different materials and all that to this environment to make that look amazing. And the next step for me is basically going to be making the car drivable, because if I can then have an amazing landscape, drive the car around, maybe make like a AI to have like a somebody to race against, like a computer driven car. Then yeah, there's some real crazy stuff coming. That is just basically the point of this video. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're interested in seeing where this game development journey goes. And the further we'll get along, I'm also gonna start to announce kind of what the title is gonna be, what the premise of it is gonna be. But I kind of want to set in stone the direction that I'm gonna take, and basically the different things that I'm working on first, because it's not, the story is not the main thing for me right now. So again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. My name is Shaquille Veldboom. I'm out.